How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. This is What's Up in the Shopping Mall, Hollywood style. How you doing?
I'm good. Let me get to the car quickly.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk while you walk into the car.
Sure.
Guys, welcome to the show. This is Upfront with Caz, Strength Out of Struggle. Today it's like a continuation of the show we do on Power FM Active Lifestyle every Saturday. You can see our superstar there walking. Check the sky there. I wanted to
I
make
don't
sure
know where this car is.
we've let her out from lockdown. So she's going to buy some food items and stuff for the cribbo. How's your week been since last week, since we chatted?
Jeez, it's been amazing. So many great things have happened.
Yeah.
There we go. I didn't do makeup or anything, so this is just my absolute bare
Me too.
face.
Me too. I left
You
the
too.
foundation. What's happened in the past week?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So I feel like it's been a really positive week. There've been some things that I've been kind of praying on and waiting on that have come to fruition. There's some new potential like contracts that have come to fruition work-wise. I'm like, sure, teachers are amazing, hey? Like how a person can
Teachers
look
and
after a 3-year-old. Wow. 24/7. Wow.
So awesome week. It's been an awesome week for me as well. Since the, it's really about the law of the universe.
Yeah.
Literally, you take a step in faith. It's like the universe responds. I promise you. The universe is God. God is energy. God is everything. But
Yeah.
I've been procrastinating about this talk thing for so long, and you and I discussing how can we just do something for the love of it, just so we can chat and share our passion, because I'm sure there's so many people out there that feel alone, that just feel like they need to share part of our experiences or where our minds are at. And the feedback has been awesome. You can see now, just look down there. The feedback has been amazing. So last week I said, okay, let me just go live. We live on what have I got? I've got a camera, I've got a phone, I've got internet,
Yeah.
I've got Instagram. Social media has given us the tools
Yeah.
in order to operate from. So this is
And
what we do.
you've got amazing friends. I've been watching who you've had on your broadcast, and it's really quite inspiring. I think we sometimes forget that as well.
Exactly.
Gary, you know Gary van Riet. So
Yes.
Gary phones me at least twice a week just to like check in. And I realized today, I was like, this has been my friend since I was in high school,
Yeah.
who always checks in, always makes sure that I'm okay. You're that person. Like I have a lot of really amazing social capital, for lack of a better word. So it is quite amazing when you look at it from that lens.
It's like no matter what happens, if your eyes are open and you look at the world with the eyes of gratitude,
Yeah.
then the gifts come your way. Because sometimes we close to receive the gifts. We closed to receiving. And you've got to, yes, it's important to give, but it's important to receive. Receiving is a gift as well. YouTube and share it. So this is what we're going to be doing until lockdown's over, until we have the studio to carry on do this, because this is just the beginning. So when people see it on YouTube, it's going to be looking like small frame, but listen to the content and see where we're coming from. We're coming from love, and we just want to share. So let's dive straight into your week. What has been the biggest learning in the past week? The biggest realization?
You know what? I think one of the biggest realizations I've had this week is about how energetically you meet the world, right?
Yes.
So there's been a time where I've met the world with fear, with aggression, and what has then ricocheted back to me is lower energies, right? That's what keeps coming back to me. And so I've gone out this week with one specific issue and kind of met it with compassion, met it with a lot more kind of gentleness. And, it may not be an immediate result, but I even feel better with what's coming back at me. It's a lot more gentle.
You look fresh. You look great.
Well, maybe, when you let go of being so angry about something, your skin clears. You don't need surgery, you need therapy. Thank you. So yeah, I think that's a really big deal. Also the power of sleep. Oh my gosh,
Are you sleeping? Because you always have problems with sleep.
I've always had problems with sleep, and I'm sleeping so much better.
Sure.
I've got plants. Now don't ask me what they're called. If you want to check back later, I can find out what they're called, but there's specific plants that I put in my house now, in my bedroom, indoor plants that are helping with the oxygen flow and the feng shui and the shumalumalai, and I'm into it. It's working.
Are you eating okay? Are you getting a chance to do any movement or exercise?
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh.
This one. You know,
I'm really not. And I'll tell you, so we were just in the shops now, and so, I get my veggies and I get all the things that I need. And I actually got bok choy this week, so I'm excited about that. It's my favorite Chinese cabbage, and I'm going to make salad and grill it and whatnot. And I always eat well. And I don't drink my calories. So I don't drink a lot of juice. I don't drink a lot of soft drinks. I drink water. And what's great is I have a 3-year-old who just always wants water as well, which is like phenomenal. The trend.
how's it been?
He's great. Just great. Fantastic. But what I'm noticing is that the Simba chips, man, I just can't stop. So I'm allowing it. I'm just allowing it, because if I punish myself, then I'm going to be unhappy and it's going to be stressful. So I'm just allowing it.
I think what's important to know is that if you are gonna eat things that are like junk foods or stuff, just know that they got more calories. So you just balance around. Just balance. It's all about balancing. Don't be obsessive. If you're gonna have something you like, you just tell me your three secrets to a beautiful skin. Now that skin is glowing.
As you're saying that, I was thinking I had a pimple down here somewhere this morning.
That's gone.
It's
disappeared.
Somewhere. I don't know. Why is my skin looking so
Miss
amazing?
Malota says, "Hey, pretty, miss you." I'm just gonna keep on throwing those what-ups, the box pops.
I don't know. I'm going to be 100% honest. Most of it is genetic. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not out here having facials and doing things. But I also think that might be it as well, because I don't actually do much to my skin, and I shock it. I don't have the same product that I use over and over and over again. I use the stuff that you can get at Clicks.
But you see what you said earlier on. You drink a lot of water.
I drink tons of water.
Water flushes the system,
Yeah, I drink tons of water. And if I'm eating well, and I also steam in my shower. So my shower collects a lot of steam. So I'll just kind of do that before I actually wash. Seems to work. And I'm so close to 40.
So back to, the whole theme of the whole thing is strength out of struggle. And we all go through strength out of struggle. What has been your main secret in getting out of struggle every time you've had ups and downs? What gets you through? People are saying they miss you on TV. Don't worry. We live right now, peeps. We live.
What gets me through? I think... Okay, I actually think that when I'm well, when I'm not in struggle, there almost needs to be a built-in preparation for the time that there will be struggle. Yeah. So whether it's from a financial point of view or building, you've been a part of a lot of kind of getting through what I've been going through in the last few months. And that is because we built a friendship when I'm well, So having a community around you, building up resources, making sure that you have, I have a lot of goodwill in terms of who I work with. People are willing to give me a second or third chance or hear me out or whatever it is, or do me a favor because of the capital that I'm able to build and the foundation that I've been able to build when there is no struggle. So I think that's one of the first things to remember, that when you're doing well, how do you treat people? How do you relate to people? How do you care for the resources that you already have? And that's a great kind of, it's like building your health. When you're healthy, you know, you're looking after your body. It's caring for your youth, you know. So once you get to 40, 50, whatever, it's what you've planted in your 20s and your teens that gets you through.
So I've been
I'm profound. That is amazing.
You're on another level then. So I've been studying a lot on, because, you know, with the goal wanting to be this wellness ambassador and transformational coach and transforming ourselves, a lot of things have come up, and I've been focusing, and what's come to mind is a lot of the different universal laws that I'm sure people will know come into play, because sometimes we don't realize that there's certain things, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and when you're doing things in a right way, it affects things. And I'm just going to go through a couple of universal laws that I think work. And
okay, so I'm gonna look for a charger in this car.
Look for a charger while I talk to the viewers, and then we'll talk about it. So guys, there's basic laws in this universe that affect everything, and basically science says that energy is. Science says that it's energy. But theology and spirit says that God is. So is not energy and God the same thing? Something to think about. Now, if we break down the laws of the universe, you'll find that everything works through vibration, the law of attraction, the law of perpetual transmutation. That means whatever we focus on, that we keep pictures on, will eventually bring to life. The law of relativity, the law of, let me just get it back onto the line, the law of rhythm, polarity, cause and effect, and gender. So there's all these different laws, and if we act and do things in a certain way, it surely affects things and affects our existence and how we go through our daily lives. So we're just going to get Pabi back on the phone. So those are the things that we've been really working on as we've been trying to refine who we are as individuals and trying to create just a better environment and trying to enjoy this livelihood a bit better. Because, you know, life these days can be ups and downs, and the stress of being on lockdown, the stress of not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from, sometimes can bring you down. But you got to know that whatever you're focusing on, whatever you keep on in your mind, you're gonna draw to yourself. It's like the law of what you sow, and as you sow, you shall reap. So just be careful of what we sow and because that's surely what we're gonna reap. A different reality. What is your view towards stuff like finance? When, ups and downs. When you were growing up, did you have a positive view of finance? Was there enough? Did you think that you deserved money or not?
And then the second role model I had was a parent who didn't make a lot of money, but was like an excellent sower and reaper. Like, this is a person who really could turn so much from so little, and I always had such admiration and respect for that. So I grew up then with a real understanding of how you can turn whatever your circumstances are into whatever you want. So if you're going to be squanderific, then you're not going to have much, and that's just that. And so I did go through, I worked at a radio station that was in the shopping center in the mall, and I would go and spend money almost every day after work. Yeah. And eventually it was that typical, I think it's like a housewife thing where you are hiding bags in the boot and not bringing them into the house because I obviously this was a very big problem, right?
What type of things did you used to like to buy?
Shoes.
Yeah, oh, you women and shoes. But mind you, like, if I had all the budget in the world, I'd buy a pair of kicks every day.
Right? Connected to the car. So that was that. And so, you know, this person in my life ended up paying off their first bond. And I remember just, you know, when I got my first bond, I thought to myself, I'm going to pay this off before the time is up. And I was able to do so. And it's also role modeling. So it's really amazing to have.
that every time we go through situations, it's what we learn from the journey that's important. You know what I'm saying? So what's been the most important lesson that you've learned as far as finance is concerned?
It's so tough because I want to say something, but I know that I'm not at the epitome of.
Just keep it real, because I mean, we remember we're working toward we're going to be brilliant. We want to take everyone along with us. The self-realization.
See, the issue is so much of our self-esteem gets wrapped up in how much we make and where we are financially, right? And I don't think that that's right, but we live in this world, you know, and it's very challenging to extricate yourself from what you're able to do and provide for your family and who you are. So as I'm talking it through, I'm thinking maybe it is about providing and being able to live versus being able to stunt on people. Because I think that that's then maybe where we get it twisted, right? So if
that's the ego,
that's the ego, exactly. Whereas I don't know what the other thing is called, what it's called, but being able to be a provider, being able to look after yourself. I mean, I suppose if you look at the model of the parent of mine who could take a very little and stretch it out, maybe that's what it is. It's about sowing and building and taking care of what it is that you have.
I think that's called financial IQ. The ability to take whatever you have and still put away some, still save, whereas other people can make much more and spend it all in a pretty sprint through. So I guess it's about, as I've asked these questions, like I've always had this habit of asking people that really do well. I want to know what's their secret. How do they get about what systems do they use? And they all use similar systems. In that part of what they make, they say they pay themselves first.
Oh yeah.
Maybe people
out there.
Those are
all the practical things that you would do.
So paying yourself first doesn't mean pay yourself and not pay anything. It's like saying basically, let's say you get 100 rand, you're taking 10 rand and you put it into a savings account, a fixed deposit that you're not going to touch. Then you'll take the other 10% and maybe you'll pay off your debt, so stuff that you owe in, and another 10 towards charity. Now listen, here's the thing: if you're not giving and sharing towards charity in any way, and you have 100 rand, what makes you think that if you have 1 million, that it's going to be any easier? It will be harder. Their favorite book, is there any book that you've read that has just made you go, wow? You know, that our viewers can go and sort of source.
The women's great. Sure, a book. There's so many.
While you're thinking about that, so I'm just going to explain to the viewers, there's 7 dimensions of wellness, and what I'm talking to you about is all the different dimensions. We share in the conversations. You guys can also pick up on stuff as we learn, you learn. So yeah, any books, doesn't matter from.
Well, you know, you're gonna laugh. Stephen Covey's 7. What is it?
7 habits
of tremendously wonderful people, of effective people. Yeah.
Right.
So you know that book has a teen version for teenagers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you've got teenagers, get that. And I read that when I was like 14 or 15. And it put the wheels in motion. It just started the thinking around time, around my attitude, around actions to take if I want to be successful. So that's always been something that's really stuck with me. And then there's a woman named Susie Orman, who I'm very obsessed with when it comes to personal finance.
Okay. She was on Oprah, wasn't she?
Yes. Do you want to park up here? So she's really phenomenal. Then what else is there that I've read and I've loved? I'm kind of on the spot right now. I'll think of more because I read a lot.
At least it's something for people to go and take a look at.
I read a lot.
At least it's something for people to go and take a look at. On the book notes, there was this book that was written ages ago that I got my hands on, which is called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
it, it's a small read. It's a real small read, and in essence, this book talks about this kid from this camel community, and he went to school with all these guys. And one day he's looking and he's seeing all these guys have got. This guy's got 5 camels. This guy's got 3 horses and a carriage. I'm just chilling here with nothing, with my palm tree, you know. So anyway, he decides to go and ask them. So he goes to Farid. He's like, "So what's your secret?"
Very.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets taken on this journey and meeting these wise people, and basically that secret that I shared with you just now about the 10% stuff, he ended up working and building self-esteem and everything else, and then eventually what he learned was you got to go back to where you came from, and you'll never move forward unless you make peace with your past. So you'll pay yourself first the 10%. You'll approach all your debtors and you'll say to them, "Look, I'm sorry that things worked out that way. Is there any, I want to make amends. Can I give you like 2 cents a month?" And because oftentimes you're scared to approach people. And they said, "Okay, cool." At the same time, you're going to do charity and you're going to start building up. And as he did this, things got better and better and better. So it's one of the books that inspired people like Anthony Robbins and some of the great motivational speakers. And so that's a nice book, The Richest Man in Babylon, to check out. Another book is a book that I'm writing.
Yes, I want the book that you're writing. That's what I
Go
want.
straight down and struggle.
I love that.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, so let's
But
change.
I enjoy people who have overcome great odds. I enjoy athletes' stories as well.
Yes.
I enjoy that, and I think that you'd be able to speak more on that than I would. But I love the idea of an athlete. I love what an athlete goes through.
Yes.
You know, that mental condition.
Barriers.
Exactly, to break down and to literally have mind over matter.
So on that subject, Pabs, I trained the world champion Hickey Butler, and yesterday I do a show with Colin Nathan every Tuesday called Inside the Ring, also
Right.
on. And we were talking about Hickey, this kid that we trained, and people asked me before, like, what is it about this kid? Because he was like the smallest athlete in the world, but the most successful champion in the country.
Amazing.
And I was interviewed by the New York Times when we were in Monte Carlo, and they asked me, what is it about this kid? I said to him, this kid is so small, but he's got so much heart. And he's so humble. I asked him, so what motivates you? What are you scared of? He says, the only thing I fear is fear itself.
Wow. What does that mean? Help me understand what that means.
Okay, so for if fear is debilitating, he's scared of the fact that fear can debilitate. He'd rather use fear to push him. So basically, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I also question him, like, you're scared of being scared, so you better not be scared.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
Yeah. So
fear is, so what is it? False evidence appearing real.
Yes.
Fear. And
those bombs here now.
Yeah. So you can either say F everything and run, or face everything and
receive.
Rise. Face everything and rise. Case in point, I learned this, and this is then a universal principle about, and it ties into what you're saying, that if you go and you face the things that you need to make amends with, so you face your debtors and you say, look, this is what I need to do, or you go and you face the people who you owe a sorry to, or, you know, even in relationships, you communicate and you face the thing. That's
also about knowing when some situations are just not, because sometimes it's hard for us to walk away from some situations. Sometimes we get stuck, but sometimes it's about we've got to have the right relationship with ourselves. I mean, I'm just talking about my own self.
Yeah.
Fix your relationship with yourself before you can be in a good relationship with anyone.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
sometimes it's really, you have to have good people around you. I want to talk about what Mpoza here is talking about ownership, because that is very important, especially as artists, as young entrepreneurs. If you're a songwriter, for example, you want to have ownership. You want to own your publishing. You want to have as much ownership as possible. Otherwise, you'll be constantly dangled. What is your advice about ownership and owning content? Because we're at a place now where we've got to own our own content right now. Otherwise, we'll constantly be puppets on strings.
Well, I'm still here being a puppet. Once I figure it out, I'll be able to report back to everybody.
But gold, I mean, but look, you can still be in there and have ownership. You own what you say. No one tells you, you must say this, you're still contributing. And as you're building your own brand, you own your brand.
Well,
The only
from
reason
that
I'm
point
talking,
of view, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And it became very crystallized in my mind over this period, these last 2 or 3 months, where I realized that no one can ever take away from me that I am Pabi Moloi, that that brand exists and that I've created it. Perhaps I need to explore how to have ownership of whatever platforms there are that I utilize. Perhaps that isn't something that I need to do in my destiny. Perhaps I'll always have these partnerships with amazing platforms. Perhaps, right? But what I do know for sure is that social media has given us an opportunity to create those platforms for ourselves.
sure.
And secondly, it kind of ties in with what I was saying to you last time, that in my career always follows on from my life. So as soon as I am in a space and position of self-ownership as a human being, that will bleed into my career, however that does. And I think as women, as young women, we ascribe to so many types, archetypes, stereotypes, whatever it is. And the minute we start dismantling those things in our own minds, decolonizing those things in our own minds, first it's going to be very scary and dangerous, and you might have fewer friends, and you might be told that you're a dangerous woman or whatever it is. But as soon as you start doing that, things do start to shift, and you're able to create, a world where you are more in control and more in charge. And I've seen that in my own life, becoming a mother, becoming so many things. You've got to kind of go, hang on, is this what I want, or am I just walking the line that everybody tells you must walk? And I have no experience as a man, so that's why I know as a woman we are told, get married, do this, do that. And it doesn't matter how future thinking you are or revolutionary you are, those things are deep seated ideologies that we all feel that we follow. Yeah.
Because we need to make this an ongoing show where each week we just discuss everything about being well as we decide how to be well. If that's okay with you, can we make that a date?
I'd absolutely love that. And I don't know what Dr. Tato here is referring to, but Dr. Tato says it gets better. And I can tell you that life gets better. It gets better if you are always on a path of being gentle with yourself, but also jump into your life, explore what it is, figure out why it hurts, figure out why some things baffle you, figure it out, ask questions. And I believe in ask questions. I believe in prayer. And I believe in prayer from a spiritual and godly point of view, but also from an energetic point of view. If you're putting out the energy of what does this mean, you're going to get an answer. You're going to get more of what it means, right? So keep doing that. Stick to it, and make your own rules.
Yeah, I think that, well, I know for a fact that life is like maths, Pabi. It's like 1 + 1 definitely equals something. If you're going to do something, there's going to be cause and effect. So, and I speak this only from what I'm going through and what I've been through. we've got to watch what we think, because we
Yes.
have to shift the whole paradigm. And by paradigm, I mean there's certain habitual things that we do, and it's all we know how to do. Maybe you get up and you're going to have coffee and you go do this. And in order to become, let's say you were talking about an athlete, you want to run the Comrades, for example. Getting up and doing A, B, C, D, and E won't get you there. So you're going to have to get up, dress, go for the jog, then come back. By putting all those different things in place, you create a paradigm shift. When you shift the paradigm, the results will be different. So that's my math for this week. What's your last words of inspiration to the people out there?
I'm back on the radio on Saturday.
Ah, you must never. So what time can they catch you?
So we're on air on Power FM. It's 98.7. 98.7 in Joburg and Gauteng. And you can catch us on 889 on the DSTV audio bouquet if you're not in Joburg, or power987.coza. That is on our website. And I'm on air from 6 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Lovely. So I join Pabi now and again, so you let me know when when you need me. But for now, you'll have to call. You'll have to do it like. Are you going in?
Absolutely.
Are you masked?
I go in. But none of our guests can go in. So yeah, we'll definitely call you. And I'm excited to do this. If you'd like to do more of this, I think this week, I saw this in action last week for myself, that there was one particular thing that I kind of was meditating on, that I wanted to shift and change, and I kept sending positivity to it. So, I grew up thinking that if somebody sends you bad will or curses or whatever, it must just go straight back to them. And but now I've learned, listen, that just perpetuates a cycle of curses. So I send healing.
Like water.
Exactly. So I'm sending healing and healing and healing to all of these like scary negative spaces. And as I said in the beginning, much more joy, peace, compassion, calm, success is coming my way. So maybe find that thing that is irking you, and send healing and love to it instead of anger. Thank you, Caz. Have a wonderful day.
See you next time.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. We see you next week. Same time, same place. Wednesday, 12:30. Every day I'll be interviewing somebody. Tomorrow I'll be live with RJ Benjamin. We'll be talking everything music. That's tomorrow, Thursday, 12:30. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you.